Hello everyone and welcome back to some Wario Land Shake It with every single coin. Today we're going to be taking a look at Rattle Ruins and we're going to be starting off with Whoopsie Desert. So without further ado, let's go. Now sadly I wasn't able to get this level on my first attempt, but I was able to get it on my later attempts. This is because some of my money actually exploded. Now, what happened, you're probably wondering? Well, this level introduces us to bomb blocks. And bomb blocks act similarly to our dash attack. They can destroy blocks, they can destroy enemies, and they can destroy coin bags. And just like our dash attack, if we destroy a money bag without actually shaking it open, we'll end up only getting one singular coin, which isn't very good. So we have to make sure we don't blow up any of our cash, otherwise it won't really increase in value. Thankfully, we're able to salvage all of our money in this little section, and we're able to get 2 more giant coin bags, as well as a really safe place to put them. Now, this pyramid is really good for coin bags because it gives you a nice enclosed area to empty the coin bags into your pocket. In fact, it gives you 2 coin bags to work with, or at least it allows you to work with 2. We go up on top of the pyramid and grab some more money before heading over to the right in order to progress to the next area. And this next area is actually inside of the pyramid. Now, inside of the pyramid is something new. A cannon. Now, these cannons are pretty useful as they allow us to get a lot of height. Now, something to note about these cannons is there's 2 ways to use them. By just tapping the 2 button to fire the cannon, or by pressing and holding the 2 button in order to charge it up. And this allows you to time your shot a lot better. This allows us to grab a huge money bag, which we can then shake and empty all the coins out. Now, we do have to discuss one other thing. In this level, there is a secret map. Now, secret maps are going to act similarly to treasure chests. That being, we don't have to collect them in this run. Although, I will be trying to collect as many as I can. So if we miss one, that's perfectly fine. Now, these secret maps actually unlock a new level for each secret map. There's only a couple in each area, so it's not that big of a hassle. But the thing about the secret maps and their secret levels are they're not required. Now, if you guys want to see all of the secret levels, please let me know in the poll in the top right corner, and I'll be sure to do a special episode all on these secret levels. Next, we're able to go on and progress with the level into another outside section. And this section gives us access to another treasure chest. Now, we have to get this treasure chest through a little bit of a different means. That being, we have to run through a dash box, and we have to go on top of the pyramid. This can prove to be kind of challenging, but it's not really that hard. Now, it does take a couple of tries, but thankfully we're able to get the treasure chest and get a cheese pyramid. And with that, we can go into the rest of the pyramid. Now, we do have a couple of things in this little section. A money bag, as well as a hidden treasure. We go up here, we grab the money bag, and because this is an enclosed area, we go ahead and shake the money bag clean. That brings us all the way up to 15,790 coins, as well as it allows us to go on and move on and grab another treasure chest. We're able to proceed through the rest of the level now, and we end up in a section again with more cannons. Here we're going to use the strategy of holding the shot and waiting until the cannon is ready. I wait for it to line up with the gray box before going ahead and collecting the diamond. I head out now, and then there is a little speed run strat that you can use. By turning the cannon 2 clicks, you can go ahead and shoot directly to the top cannon, which can prove to be kind of useful. Then we shoot up to the top of the pyramid, and then we get a checkpoint. Now, this checkpoint, yeah, after the checkpoint there's a few things I need to talk about. The first of which is there are 4 rows of coins. Now, these, or 4 rows of blocks. Now, the top blocks actually have coins in them, the bottom blocks do not. So we're going to be taking the top half by jumping at the right time. As you can see, I do right here. Also, you might be able to see it, but I just passed through a little bit of hole in the ground that was covered with blocks. But if you see in the bottom right corner, there's nothing down here except a previous part of a level that we've already cleared. So we're going to be taking the top route in order to get a treasure chest. We go ahead and get the ancient digital watch before heading all the way to the beginning of the level. Now you're probably thinking, well, there is no beginning of the level, but there's a pipe. So that takes us to the beginning of the level before allowing us to leave. And now we can move on to the next level, being Foul Waterfalls. Now, Foul Waterfalls introduces us to a new mechanic, that being water. Now, why is water so bad? Well, the thing about water is that it kind of acts just like a bomb block or your dash. That means it kills your coin bags. Now, it also does something else. It kills the actual coins if coins actually fall into it. So yeah, you have to be really careful when shaking a coin bag, like right here. Yeah, up top there's a couple of coin bags that we are going to need to grab. Now, I found a pretty safe strategy for doing this. That being, as you can see what I'm doing with a bandinero, I'm actually throwing them on top of this little ledge. That gets us close to a loading zone. And it has a ceiling as well, making it one of the safest loading zones in the game. Now we're able to go ahead and grab a coin bag, and then we're going to try to do the same trick. Keep in mind that if a bandinero is stunned, we can't actually get a high bounce off of it. Sadly, I ended up ground pounding on this bandinero, but thankfully we have a spare. So we can go ahead and grab that from the top and be able to knock him down. Now that he's down here, we're able to go ahead and just jump on his head, get the coin bag up, and then we're able to shake it and get all the money out of it. Now I would grab the other coin bag, except originally we had a blue bandinero. I ended up having to get rid of him, but by refreshing the room we're able to get him back. This allows us to go ahead and get the other money bag. I just have to wait for the blue bandinero to get in position. Alright, there we go. And now we're able to bounce off the orange bandinero, and then we're able to go ahead and throw the money bag up. There we go. And now all we have to do is shake it out of all of its money. That's probably the hardest part of the level because of all the water, but thankfully we're able to get it. Now we're going to go ahead and go try to get another set of treasure. The first of which being right here. Now what we need to do is we need to get a blue bandinero in order to throw at the ceiling to break that block to release a ton of water in order to actually swim to the treasure chest. So that's what we're going to do. We go ahead and look directly up to the ceiling and throw up the bandinero. This kills the other abandoned Euros. And then we go ahead and grab our recyclable bottle. Now we re-enter the green pipe, and before we move on, I should probably check something. Now, because we have water over here, yeah, it's just a good idea to check to make sure there's no coins. There weren't, so now we're able to make it to the next part of the level. But just due to paranoia, I decided to go ahead and check for more coins back. And thankfully there weren't any. Because if I miss a single coin, that's not very good for this challenge. Also, if you guys see any coins that I missed somehow, go ahead and let me know. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'll be sure to make a correction video on any mistakes I make with the coins. With that, we're able to grab another coin bag in this little cove. And you might have seen it, but there's another coin bag as well. Now, we're going to try to get that other coin bag in this little cove as well. Or in the one where the other coin bag was. But that's going to require us to actually throw the coin bag, because if we try to jump over the little rod, we'll automatically grab onto the rod and we'll drop the coin bag down into the water. So it's a lot less risky in order just to throw it across. And with that, we're able to go ahead and proceed with the level. Now, right here, you have to grab a abandoned arrow. I recommend this orange one right here to throw at this block. So this way it gives us a step, so that way we can grab some gold coins. And we're almost halfway through the level. Now all we have to do is we have to go ahead and grab a couple more pieces of treasure, as well as some more coins. This little section to the left requires a dash box. Sadly, we don't have access to that yet, but we do have access to these coins, which we can then go ahead and shake open, and then we get another 750 coins. We go on up these rope swings before going to get a large coin bag, because who doesn't like large coin bags? Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to shake this one open. We do have to be careful with this one, because this one has a lot of coins. Thankfully, we're able to get all of the coins, and we're able to get up to 10,750 coins total. Now all we have to do is we have to ground pound down here, and we get access to a dash box. But if you remember, we still have to get a piece of treasure to the left. So we're going to have to make our way back up and to the left. Thankfully, this is easily doable, and we're able to proceed. At least, I hope we are. Yeah, it's not too hard, but it does take a few tries. The jump's pretty precise, so yeah, it's not the easiest thing, but we're able to do it. And thankfully we're able to grab the next piece of treasure. After a little mini challenge, of course. Yeah, we have to make our way all the way up here. Be sure to duck right here, otherwise you'll crash right into the wall. But hey, we're able to get it, so that's great. Now we just need to go ahead and move on to the right. Now, I did forget to check something here though. That being, what about the other pipe to the left? So I actually wanted to go ahead and check that, but first I went ahead and broke all the bricks here. Then I went ahead, just went back over here, or at least attempted to, before going back to the dash box. I got to jump, and then I went ahead and went back through the green pipe. Now, where could that other green pipe lead? lead us? Well, let's see. It leads us to the top of the map, right above that evergreen pipe. Yeah, there's no coins there, but I thought it was important to point out. Now we're able to move on to the next part of this section. We need to go on top of these boxes, go into this little area. I recommend taking these coin bags down and then shaking them open into the loading zone. Now we just have to make our way back up. And this is a pretty precise jump, but we're able to get it. We get another coin bag, which we take down here. And then we shake it open. Now we're almost to the finish. We just have this last little level. We're able to go ahead and make our way over here. Now, there is a hidden map right here that we need to hit. We go ahead and grab that. And then we grab this coin bag to the right. This ceiling is a little bit trickier to handle, but we're able to get all the coins here anyways. Now we can go ahead and move on to the very last section. We just have to ground pound on these little bricks. And then we make our way all the way down. Here we are, the very last section of this level before the midway point. Here what we have is now we're supposed to go ahead and launch a bandinero upwards to hit a block down, but who needs that when we have speedrun strats like that? Now we go ahead and grab this gold bag, and then we go ahead and get all the money from it. You can see sort of that the little brown brick is there. In fact, I hit it just to make sure there's no like money bag on top of it. Yeah, no, there's nothing there. We do have one more coin bag though. We go ahead and grab that, shake it against the wall, and then we get all the money from it. And here we are at the very last challenging section of this level, where it's just some rope swings. And of course I messed it up on the last one, but that was mostly so that way I could check to make sure there was no coins down below. Now we have a orange bandinero that we go ahead and launch directly at the top of the screen. We release some water. I break a box for a little bit later. Then I grab the checkpoint. And let's see how you're actually supposed to do the checkpoint, because I didn't get it on my first attempt. So this time at the checkpoint, it's a lot easier than the one in Whoopsie Desert for a normal playthrough. For us, it's a little bit more complicated, because for us, we actually have to do a pretty specific route. First of all, we have to go through this section normally, and right here what we have to do is we have to jump over this first one, jump over the second one, grab the diamond, then turn around, then jump over it again, jump again, before slowing ourselves down in order to go ahead and grab this treasure chest. Then we're not done yet, because we have to go all the way down in order to grab a money bag. Now there's no real good place to do this, but I decided to shake the money out right here, and thankfully it worked, and we were able to go ahead and grab all the money, leading us to have 32,000 coins. Now we go ahead and make our way up here, and we're able to make it out with all the money in this level. Yeah, surprisingly there's no more money in this level, which is a really good thing, because otherwise we would be stuck here if there was money in that little containment unit with the gray boxes. But there's no more money, so we're able to make our way to the very end of the level. Now, this level took a long time, but the next level takes a lot longer. That's because it abuses the uni buckets, which are motion controlled and they're really annoying to control. So in order to keep this from being a 40-minute video, I'm going to go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Thankfully the uni buckets are pretty slow, so it shouldn't be too hard to keep an eye on what's going on. So I go ahead and enter a rundown pyramid before starting the first area. Here I have to make sure I get every single coin before proceeding. And I go ahead and check below just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Now in this section I go ahead and look for any coins. There aren't many, but I do have to check up above before grabbing a giant coin bag. I go ahead and shake it open before moving on to the next section. Here I go ahead and open up a treasure chest, and then I go ahead and continue on. It's just more of the coin bag and giant coin bag shaking. I have to be pretty specific on where I shake it, but thankfully we're able to get all the money from them, and then we're able to go ahead and enter a pipe. Now this pipe takes us to a very coin littered room. This room has a ton of coins, as you might see, as well as a treasure chest that we have to get. We're able to go ahead and get all the way up to the top, and we're able to go ahead and grab the arrow. Now, you're probably thinking we're going to move on, but first we have to grab this diamond. Now we're going to go ahead and move across the top before moving on to the next section. Make sure to ground pound here, as there is a box down here that we have to break with a supercharged ground pound. We grab the giant coin bag before shaking all of its money out. In this section, we just have another uni bucket and giant coin bag, as well as more motion controls. This game doesn't really like its motion controls that much, but this section is kind of motion control gimmick. I say that it's not motion control based, but then again, the title of the game is Shake It, referring to shaking the Wii remote, so I'm not so sure about that now. We go on with the uni bucket, and we go ahead and grab a few last coins before moving on to the last section. Here we get to the top before doing one last ground pound all the way to the bottom. And here we are at the last section. Now I decided to keep this at normal speed because this is actually timed, and a lot of this is actually necessary to follow, because at the very beginning we are required to ground pound. This is so that way we can actually break through the block and go ahead and get up here in order to get the moon cheese. Now you're probably thinking, wait, what's down these brick blocks? Well, all these little loading zones just take us to the right screen of the level. So it just basically is going down a spiral. So thankfully it's safe. Now we have to go through here. We have to grab all the coins here, and then we get a dash box. This dash box section is required because we need to go through this little iron crate. Well, I guess we don't technically need to, but it's good to. And if you're wondering what was down those brick blocks, don't worry. It basically just takes us back to where that first treasure chest was. With that, we're done with the rundown pyramid, and we can move on to the boss fight. Surprisingly, a lot of the bosses in this game are actually pretty tough compared to Mario bosses. What do you know? Just another thing that Wario Land Shake it has over New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which is something I should probably mention. These games are pretty similar-ish. They have a lot of differences, and in my opinion, Wario Land Shake it is just a lot better than New Super Mario Bros. Wii, just because of how different it actually is from the New Super Mario Bros. Wii formula. And I mean, they took a giant robot as one of their first bosses for an ancient civilization. I think that's a lot better than something that New Super Mario Bros. Wii or any New Super Mario Bros. Would do. So, I feel like this game really does stand out. Although there is some cool cheese that you can do with this boss. That being, as you might have saw at the beginning of the battle, I did 2 hits of damage when I was only supposed to be able to do 1. And even there, I was supposed to not be able to do damage, but I still ended up doing some. Now he heads off to his second phase, where we have to hit the top of his head. This does require some waiting, but it's not too bad. We just have to wait for one of his phases where he goes ahead and swings around his arms. Or, wait, these aren't even connected to his arms. To his second floating heads. Then we're able to ground pound on his head and avoid getting pushed off with some more cheese. Yeah, we're normally supposed to be pushed off, but we can avoid that. But with that, Area 1 is completed. Next time we're going to be taking a look at Area 2. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Yeah.